Haha! Gotta hit that button. Alrighty. And then I gotta hit one more button. There's so many buttons you gotta press. Okay, hopefully I've pressed enough buttons for one sitting. Oh, gotta refresh my screen. Alright, and we are now hereby streaming on both Rumble and YouTube. I think, I mean, I'm not even really trying to check, but what the heck, we're gonna try it out. So, we got pop out chat on Rumble. I'm not even gonna hit the video play button because I don't want to tax my internet. Seriously, I have like this weird problem right now where my upstream seems to be fine. Most web pages seem to load fine. And then I go to load StreamYard. Like literally just the web page for StreamYard, not like an actual stream. And it would take like this inordinate amount of time to load the page, and I'll usually have to refresh it like 5 times to get it going. So I've been kind of winging it, but I have a hunch as to what it could be. It does not seem to be a software issue, but we're here to play Zelda, and I'm just prepping the chat window right now so that we can, you know, we can put those live chats up on screen, right? You know, like we always like to have the little thing, you know. So let me see here. I was gonna say welcome to the stream. I'm only doing that so I can test out the message. See, we gotta resize that window, and there we have it. So now I can shuffle that to the left side of my screen. Then we got to go back to Rumble, because I do want to see messages on Rumble and YouTube, you know? I don't want to be all like, you know, an elitist. Man, it is like hot and cold in this room right now. I open the window, it cools down rapidly. Anyway, we're here to play Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And in order to do that, I'm going to hit a button on my screen that lets me preview the game. I don't know what dictates the lag, but I'm more confused when I don't get lag when I'm doing this. So right now I literally have the window. See, I put Zelda in a window on my left monitor. I literally have the Zelda game in this window, and it seems to work fine. Like, you know, usually like first time I ever did this, I had some serious lag. And like what ended up happening was I kind of just like, you know, I found different solutions. So for example, if you hook a, you know, Nintendo up to your computer and you're streaming a game and you get serious lag because you're playing from inside the OBS window or the preview window, one of many solutions, or at least one of the few solutions I've tried, is to bypass your Elgato, bypass your capture card. Basically, like, for example, the Elgato has both an input and output. The input on the Elgato is what you're using in OBS to record, or what you're using in order for, you know, the streaming application to pick it up. The output on the Elgato is a bypass. In fact, let's hit the record button. Alright, we're hitting the record button now. Alrighty, so as I'm sitting here playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, a subject matter occurred to me in which is not an issue to me right now, but essentially what happens is when you're streaming a game, sometimes you'll use the OBS preview window if you're using a console, or you'll use a window I have here. So either you'll be looking directly at the OBS window, which of course, you know, would it necessitate doing something like this? Okay, so you got Zelda over here. You'd either be playing directly inside the OBS window, or you'd be previewing it on your monitor. But yeah, let me just start over. I really shouldn't be recording videos during live streams, but here we are. Alrighty, hopefully nobody rewinds this video in order to see that I'm going to repeat myself. But we're going to begin recording in 3, 2, 1. Something I recently observed, something I want to bring up today is the topic of streaming games and when you encounter lag while streaming. Now, the first time you stream a game, you're either using an Elgato, and I mean from a console. So, first time you stream a game from a console, you're either using an Elgato or some kind of knockoff Elgato-like device, like this one here. This was like literally only $20, and I only bought it because I couldn't hook certain devices up. In fact, I could not hook my HDMI modified N64 to the Elgato, so I needed to buy this. So I, had like an $80 or $100 capture card, and I ended up having to use a $20 USB dongle. And these work pretty well, actually. They got many, varieties of these. However, the ideal one is one that has both an output and an input on it. This only has an input. So if I was gaming with this right now, and I was either using the OBS window, which I would, preview by doing this. So, yeah, let's see. I'm going to start this over like that. Okay, we're going to try this again. Alrighty. In streaming Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which, is pretty trivial, I have my Nintendo Switch hooked up to an Elgato capture card. I'm able to play it and stream it. But something that happened to me the first time I streamed, or during my very first streaming, was that I was either playing the game inside the OBS window, so essentially it would look something like this, except this would be filling up the whole window, presumably. But you can also right-click on the source and tell OBS to put that into a windowed projector, and it says source as opposed to scene or whatever. So if we go to my main monitor, you'll see I have a window right here. That is the windowed projector. This is my gameplay. But the thing is, many times when I play a game directly inside of the OBS window or inside, one of these video preview panels, I tend to encounter, some serious lag. And it might be like even a half a second or 1 second, but any amount of lag, upwards from a quarter second, in my opinion, especially upwards from half a second, is unacceptable. I found this especially noticeable when I was playing Super Mario Brothers using the Nintendo Switch gamepad. In fact, I was using the NES gamepad for Nintendo Switch on my phone, and it was barely 1 second lag, if it was even that long, but it was just absolutely painful to do anything in that game. Constantly trying to dodge a Goomba when you're half a second behind is not a good time at all. I hope I can leave these boxes in their current form. So anyway, why am I streaming like this right now? How is it possible for me to stream from inside a, preview window like the one we're looking at right here on my main monitor? How is that working? I'm not exactly sure, because typically if I was getting serious lag during streaming, I would use the video output on my Elgato. So essentially the Elgato has an input on it and an output. The output is essentially a real-time bypass. And so if you're recording or streaming a game that is going in through your Elgato, one method for dealing with the lag that you might encounter is to simply use that output. That output is intended for, many, I guess a few uses. For one, you could hook it up to your TV. And so essentially you'd be streaming through your computer. You could even use your webcam, of course, but you'd be looking at your actual TV to play the game. alternatively, you could pick an extra monitor and just designate that monitor for gameplay. And that's typically what I do when I'm on this computer, because my monitors and my tower and, things stacked on top of my tower tend to block my view of the TV. And even if I could see my TV, it's not really optimal for me to look up at an angle like this to play a game. And so what I do instead is I take that real-time bypass port on the Elgato and I hook it up to HDMI 2 on my main monitor, and have 3 monitors here, including the one over here. So essentially we take this monitor up here, there's a button on it that lets me switch between HDMI 1 and 2, and as long as I'm getting a real-time feed directly from the console going into HDMI 2, then I can always switch to the second HDMI port. And of course, well, then anything on this screen right now couldn't be accessed if I had like a chat window, like I do over here. I got my chat window and, Rumble and YouTube. Well, then I would just have to make sure I put my chat window either on my right side monitor, which is over here, that's where my OBS is, or my top monitor, which I don't usually show people in case I have something sketchy on screen. But right now, it's just this window here. So I have places I can put, my app windows. Any app that I need to be able to see during a stream, I could put on either of the 2 remaining monitors whenever this one is tied up for gaming. And so when I'm playing PlayStation 3 or Nintendo Switch or N64, yeah, that's generally how I'm going to do this. Now, if I'm playing N64, that doesn't work on the Elgato, and so I actually had to buy this $20 USB dongle in order to stream N64, from a modified HDMI modified N64. And it happens to work by some happenstance, but if I do get lag, that's not a big issue because I have a HDMI splitter. Before the video signal goes into this, essentially it's going from my N64. In fact, I could draw a diagram. I can actually draw a diagram. Let's draw a diagram. Hopefully this works. Will it work? Okay. There we go. So we got that diagram, but something's sketchy about my diagram. Okay, there we go. We're looking good so far. We're just gonna resize that. Okay. I think we can make the image blurry so that we can see what I'm doing better. Oh, and this is just me drawing a picture of somebody burning at the stake earlier today. Don't mind that diagram here. Let's get that to go away. All right, good. Alrighty, where's my pen? Here's my pen. Alright, so there's 2 ways to do this. Let's say we're playing Nintendo Switch. So of course, a Nintendo Switch, whoops. We need to make the color white. Okay, let's try that again. Alright, so let's say we have a Nintendo Switch. A Nintendo Switch would generally look something like this. Alright, it's a thing. Oops, I already made a mistake. Okay, so we're going to draw a Nintendo Switch again. We're going to draw it properly as possible. I keep postponing installing the new version of Photoshop, but I should really do that soon because this one doesn't really always work the way I'd like it to. But okay, so we have a Nintendo Switch and we have a wire coming out of it. Maybe we should draw the wires in a different color. Maybe like off-white or some kind of shade of gray. Okay, so we're going to try with a shade of gray. Okay, so we got that is going to be our HDMI. There's a reason I like to use keyboards a lot more than pen and paper. Alright, so we got our HDMI cable right there, and it's going to be going into a computer. So we're going to say this is a tower. We're going to draw gigantic HDMI ports. These are not to scale. Okay, so this HDMI cable is going to go into this HDMI input. So we'll go from Nintendo Switch. So it's going to be like, you know, output. We can even draw little guiding arrows if we want. Okay, so we got our video signal going from the N64 or Nintendo Switch. And then that's basically it, right? So, you know, at that point, we can just say, you know, hook it up to a monitor. But really, there's a problem here. If I hook it up like this, I'm going to get lag. So, you know, of course, every computer is going to have a GPU, right? So we're going to say so we got our El Gato right there, or El Gato, which I believe is Spanish for cat. Then we got our, we're just going to call it GPU, even though technically a GPU, I would argue, is just the processor or GPU graphical processing unit, but we can argue on semantics all day. Bottom line is that then we have our monitor. So that's our monitor, and we got lag. So how can we get around that? Well, let's create a duplicate of this layer. And what we're going to do is we're going to just eliminate some elements here. We're going to eliminate this. And believe it or not, I'm going to have to move this entire bit here to the right. It's just too much stuff in one area. So we're going to do that right now. We need to, you know, basically take this and move it anywhere else. Just like here will be fine for now. Okay. And I should probably mention that, of course, this would be your PC, right? You know, I mean, you know that. You know what a PC is. Okay. So now, here's the thing. We got two options here. In my case, what I would do is my monitor has two HDMI ports, right? So I can simply and what we're going to do is we're going to just pretend that the monitor is larger than it is. Okay, so we're going to have our two HDMI ports. We're going to have one here and one here. So we got a HDMI port. Wait, why does my number one look like a number two? Right, we're going to fix that. Trying to make a number one, darn it. Yo, what up, Eric? Alright, we're going to try that again. We're going to draw a nice, neat number one. There we go. Yeah, I got sidetracked playing Zelda. Yeah, man, I'm taking it easy, man. I'm chilling. Staying out of trouble, you know. Oh, man, I got to say that icon of the bear and the suit, it looks even larger on my left screen right now. This looks glorious. That plugin's got some glitches to it, though. But, yo, that looks glorious on my left screen. I don't know. Just, it's like extra largified over here, man. I mean, it's about the same size, actually. But it looks pretty large on my left side screen because it is a larger screen. But, yeah, man, I'm chilling. Just kind of like producing content for a future video, perhaps, right? Because, I mean, the stream has a lot of false starts in it. So anyway, a lot of times we're capturing video with an Elgato, and what we might do is hook the HDMI cable straight to the Elgato's, input. Then we'll take the output from our computer, from our video card, and we'll play the game on our monitor. And we'll say, that's our monitor. And so the problem is if we're getting lag, how do we cope with the lag? Well, first let's put the word lag on the screen so people know that this is what happens when we hook it up like this. So how do we address that lag? Because what's happening is we're going from the Nintendo Switch. It's going into the Elgato capture card, which is either recording or, being used for streaming. In fact, the computer software is recording or streaming. So it's going from the Nintendo Switch into the Elgato's HDMI input through your software, through your hardware, through your CPU, whatever processing is happening. And due to the nature of video encoders, it's coming out of your video card with a half a second lag or half a second latency, and you're jumping over a pit. You're Mega Man, and Mega Man relies on precision. Mega Man relies on precision and timing. That is something that we cannot compromise when we're Mega Man. And so, to that end, we need to find out why it's lagging. And in fact, we already know why it's lagging, right? We know because we're trying to stream the game, but because the computer has to process stuff and run it through a video encoder, that's causing a tiny bit of lag, even though we're looking at it from inside the OBS preview window. Even though there shouldn't be lag, or we wouldn't expect there to be lag here, there is lag. And so we need to address that. And for some reason, I magically addressed it. And of course, I do want to say hi to my dear friend Maze, Marvel, Mario, Metroid, and Mafia Mega Man, as well as Chad M, and of course Eric Boyd, who was the first one here. So, if this was a race, Eric Boyd wins. But this isn't a race, so, we're all in good company here, and it's great to see all of you up to and including Chad M. And that's okay, DK Ronnie works. But DJ is accurate, but DK is kind of like Donkey Kong, so I mean, it's kind of cool. So I'll take either one. So yeah, we got this happening here. how do we get around that lag? Well, we're going to just make another duplicate layer, because Photoshop lets us do that. And I'm going to delete a bunch of detail here. What detail? I don't even know. Let's just see here. My keyboard's in a terrible place right now. So we'll delete that. We'll keep the monitor the way it is. I wish I put the lines on a different layer over here, but whatever. We're going to have to leave it be. So anyway, we could actually leave these lines the way they are. This is fine. So anyway, what is my solution for the lag? Well, it's super duper simple when it does happen, at least. And when I'm using the Elgato. If I'm not using Elgato, well, luckily, even though this USB dongle does not have... Ooh, my keyboard's gonna fall. Even though this USB dongle does not have a real-time output, this solution can still work. So if you have an Elgato with a pass-through connector, we're going to demonstrate that. Then we're going to use a scenario which shows one of these and how we deal with that. So basically, we're going to take this line here and we're going to erase it. Because we are going to do a trick here. Well, in fact, we don't have to erase this line yet. But I'm going to demonstrate two scenarios. One scenario is simply that we go business as usual into the Elgato, but then we use the second port on the Elgato. Remember, this second port here is the real-time output. So even if, let's say, normally the video goes into the computer and is delayed because of the video encoder, so by the time the video card gets it, you have lag. The video signal coming out over here is bypassing the rest of your computer. So if I take this video output here, and I go from the Elgato into HDMI 2 on my monitor, and of course, remember that is exactly what's happening there because my monitor has two HDMI ports, so the signal is now going, instead of going into the Elgato, it's going directly out and into my monitor. And so, of course, this means that I have to, press a button here that does 1 or 2, HDMI 1 or 2. That's all, just like changing the input on your TV. And so, yeah, you do that. And now, yeah, you're going to have a little bit of lag inside the OBS window. Yeah, the people who are watching are going to also be a bit more behind, which is always to be expected. But you're going to have lag-free viewing. And so the only issue is, if I want to look at the chat window, which is currently on my main monitor, and it's good to see you, Philip Gaming. If I'm going to, look at the chat window, I just have to put it on one of my remaining monitors. I got to put it on my monitor over here. And this is like an old school monitor, so you can see the square shape doesn't even fit this entire window. Or I could put it on my top monitor, which I usually don't have mapped to my Elgato, but only because I could put sketchy things on this screen when I'm in the middle of a stream. Not that that's the safest thing to do, but jokes aside, yeah, this monitor, I can put my chat window up here, right? Just like that, boom. Same thing with the Rumble chat. Has anybody come to me on Rumble? No, nobody's on Rumble. That's okay. I didn't expect anyone on Rumble. And yeah, that's basically how, we deal with this stuff. But bottom line is that we are now not getting any lag. But let's say we don't want to do that. Maybe we can't do that. Now, what scenario would prevent us from using the real-time output on the Elgato? What would prevent us from using this configuration here? And also, this real-time output, you could plug this into another monitor. You don't need to plug into HDMI 2. You can plug this into a TV. If the TV is in a good position or you got an extra monitor, that works just the same. And if you do that, then you can continue to use your monitor as a normal monitor. Since I have 3 monitors, that's inconsequential. But what if my Elgato, it doesn't have that? Now, this isn't an Elgato, but I have a device that has, one HDMI port on it. So there's no bypass. There's no real-time bypass here. So what do we do there? Well, and did I say hi to Philip Gaming yet? Well, it's good to see you. It's a nice mushroom. Some waviness is fun. Anyway, okay. my brain gets sidetracked. Okay, so anyway, simple enough. If we're not using an Elgato, let's just say we don't have an Elgato at all. So we're gonna blacklist the Elgato. We're gonna say no Elgato, right? We don't have an Elgato at all, but we have a USB dongle. So we're gonna draw a USB dongle. It's gonna be huge. It's a gigantic USB dongle. Whoops. Got USB capture. Pardon the handwriting. Okay, so that's USB capture. So this here is a USB capture dongle right here. And this has HDMI. Okay, so that's an HDMI input. Man, I gotta spruce up the handwriting. So anyway, bottom line is, here's what we can do. We could run the Elgato or the Nintendo straight into that, but first we need to put it into a splitter. So we got a splitter right here. And a splitter has, you know, basically an input, which we should really draw on the back so I can actually see it. So we're going to take this wire here. I'm going to say, okay, go into the input. Okay. And then the signal is going to come out of the splitter. One of them is going to go into my capture card. Then the second cable, man, this is a mess, is going to go into my second monitor or into the second HDMI port on my main monitor. Either one. And so even though I don't have that bypass port on the Elgato, all I really have to do is take the output from my Nintendo Switch. Take the output from my Nintendo Switch and hook it up to a splitter. Then take one of the outputs on that splitter and make it go here. Make the other splitter go to whatever screen I want to use. And that will allow me to have a lag-free gaming experience. The other option we went over already was simply to use the Elgato's real-time bypass. If it has one, we can use that to deal with lag. And once again, you can send a signal to your main monitor, second HDMI port, which would all be fine if that's available. But if it's not, we would just go and, where's my mouse pointer? I lost my mouse pointer. Send it to another TV. You know, we got another TV here, let's say, which is currently gray. So I'm going to just, oh, that's great. Gray on gray. I got the data list right here. And either way, whether it's this display or this display, it's coming out of the bypass. So it will be in real time. It will not have that annoying lag. Now, how did I get around the lag situation? I'm not really sure, but I'm going to show you my settings in OBS. And maybe someone else can put 2 and 2 together because I can't. Now, but jokes aside, these are my current live streaming settings. It says we're using track 1 for the audio, which is actually a combined audio track. It combines multiple tracks. That's my bitrate. I sometimes set it to a CQP of 20. Right now, it's set to a constant bitrate. I told it to use the fast, low quality preset. Basically, it compromises on encoding quality. It compromises on compression in order to reduce the amount of lag we're dealing with, the amount of latency between the viewer and me, so that I can respond to chat much, hopefully quicker. This one is also important. Ultra low latency. Now, does this actually affect my situation? I think not. The only thing I think that's really happening is all up here where it says NVIDIA encoder. I think that's like the main reason why this is working. Like, I think this is what's causing it not to lag. I think it's just the fact I'm using the NVIDIA video encoder that is like playing a big role in making this happen. But I mean, it's the cumulative effect of all of these settings that is having this effect. With that being said, we're going to get back to the gameplay because, you know, I should get to the gameplay. I mean, I'm here to play a game, right? How did I get into this whole John Madden diagram thing, huh? Alrighty. So this is what I was doing here. I was playing around with this ball dispenser when I jumped off a cliff. How did I fall off a cliff? Well, let's get back to daylight and I'll demonstrate. I know there's a campfire here somewhere. I was just playing with the campfire. Oh, who's this guy? Hey, Ghost Man. What's up, Raru? Raru? The time bell that sounds from the Temple of Time rings at a set time each morning and evening. Along with constructs, we woke to the sound of the bell. When we heard it in the evening, we knew it was time to rest. It's also played its part in our traditional ceremonies and way this place is blah blah blah. Okay, so I thought there was a campfire here, but you know, I think it might be, oh, there's a cave. Yo, I did not know there was a cave here. Okay, I didn't know there was any of this crap over here. Also, there's these weird platforms that float, and so what you do with these platforms is you like find, sometimes you'll find 5 of them in the same place, and oh, that looks ominous. That looks ominous across the way, by the way. But what you do is you take these platforms and you combine like 5 of them. You can make them into staircases. You can do all kinds of wild stuff with them. But before I go to that ominous thing, let's take a look here. Oh, that looks ominous too. Oh, he looks nice. Yeah, so you have these creatures floating around, and sometimes they're nice, and sometimes they're kind of creepy. I'm like this far in the game. Now, I'll show you exactly how far I am in the game right now. Well, unprepared travelers will simply lose vitality, may even die. Fortified how? Okay. Okay, so I'll show you how far I am. Basically, I got 3 of these powers right now. So every time I've gone to a certain shrine so far, I've picked up a new ability. So this ability is the ability to do something. What the heck did this do here? Oh, whoops. I did not mean to do that. Okay. Well, actually, I did mean to do that. So this is one of the abilities. This one lets you go to... Okay, let's get out of there. So this ability lets you go through solid rock. So when you press this button, it actually draws a grid above you that we can't really... There we go. And so this bores a hole through the ceiling, what, you know, almost like teleportation through rock. This one is a construction thing, but what we do with this is we can pick things up of large sizes or drag them around. And then you got this thing here which fuses things together, but this one's a little weird. Basically, see how I have a wooden bat with a rock attached to it? Well, that was because of this. I somehow managed to make a rock get stuck by doing that. So take that, you know, as you will. That is my estimated progress. And looks like I got a lot of food I can cook up here. So I can do like, maybe cook up some stamina mushrooms. Why has Link gotten a robot arm? That is a great question. I actually recorded the first hour of my gameplay. Haven't streamed it. I was planning on making like an edited video on this. But yes, the first half hour of playing this game fully explains why Link has a freaking synthetic arm, and it is Zelda's fault. Okay, we're basically in the basement of the freaking castle, you know? And Zelda's all like, oh, look at these paintings. And then we walk past them, we go down this hallway, and while we're walking down this hallway, there's red energy coming out of the floor. And I'm sitting there going, this is looking ominous. I'm like, this is not safe in here to be here alone with the princess, you know, like in this basement. So I'm trying to tell Zelda, yo, broad, let's chill out and like, come back with a group of soldiers. But she won't listen to me. She's like, oh, we'll go look at the paintings later. We can look at the paintings on the way out, right? So Zelda and I keep walking down this ominous hallway. And what do we find? We find, we find this other energy thing. And as it turns out, it's some evil Sith Lord as motherfucker in a rock. And basically, upon approaching this dude, he takes my arm off. The man infects my arm with some like super Ebola, throws Zelda down a hole in the ground. It's okay. It's too early in the game for her to die, so she probably survives. I think I have to meet her at a temple. But yeah, that's why Zelda has a fake arm. Zelda has a robot arm because, I mean, Link has a robot arm because of Zelda. Because Zelda was being unreasonable and thought it was a good idea to go exploring and spelunking under the castle, despite the obviously dangerous conditions. And it's all Zelda's fault, and it's partly Link's fault for not talking her out of it. But considering that I wasn't given much dialogue in the matter, I can't really take a whole lot of blame for that, can I? So I don't know if I'm supposed to cook fire fruit, but I am cooking fire fruit. I don't know what that makes. Oh, cool. Okay, well, that's interesting. Yeah, right. That's true. At least he didn't die again for 100 years. And I love that I didn't beat Breath of the Wild. So if I want, I can revisit that game and keep playing it. Like I still got, like, I barely finished, like, I've attempted the Desert Beast multiple times, and I just haven't succeeded there yet. So I'm gonna keep at it. I'm gonna keep working on the Desert Beast. I mean, I'm gonna give him another try. I'm hoping that I'm like the fourth time is the charm, you know? Because sometimes with games, I've played games over my entire childhood, or like it took me half my childhood to beat Metroid, and you know, sometimes like you revisit something that you had failed at multiple times, and it comes easy. Oh, what happened to the Master Sword? That is a great question, my dear friend. Now, I hope if at any point you get concerned about spoilers, I don't think these are major spoilers, but let me know, and I won't put out too much detail for you. But I don't care. Just let me know if it bothers you to hear spoilers. But, well, this is the Master Sword right here. It still has unlimited durability. And it still needs to recharge at times. See, look, it says Master Sword is low on energy. So I have a shard, a fragment of the Master Sword that still works. And that's basically it. You can tell I'm new, starting this game relatively new, if it's still giving me tips on what I'm picking up. It's just like No Man's Sky. It's just like No Man's Sky. Huh. I mean, it's basically the same effect that whether he's got to go looking for it or Link can regenerate it, he's still gonna have to go through some ordeal to get that back. What the hell? I don't know what these bright bloom seeds do. I mean, I'll find out, I'm sure. But I'm collecting a lot of them in this cave right here. I just wish I shot at that animal with something stronger. Yeah, like I haven't beat the first Zelda game either. Maybe one day I'll make it a priority. Because that is, you know, of course, a classic. Okay, so this rock on a stone, or this stone on a rock actually does have a... Oh, the rock got bigger. It must have gotten larger because I don't know, like must have not... Oh, hey, it's my friend. I just saw that guy. Now, I did beat the first Metroid game. Some people pride themselves for, like, beating it with no map, but I beat it with a map. I didn't cheat, but I did rely on a map. And I'm fine with that because that game is way too fucking easy to get lost in, you know? Like, I can't be going crazy trying to beat a, side scroller here. Speaking of side scrollers, I mean, I'm glad they came out with Metroid Prime Remake because I thought it was a little cheap to, like, I liked Metroid Dread, but I did think it was a bit of an anachronism that I was playing a game that like is a side scroller, on a modern console. That did bother me a little bit. I sure hope that I can get that thing because right now I accidentally moved. Okay, good. There. Let's bring this down a bit. Good. That thing is slightly out of my range. This game definitely taxes the Nintendo Switch. Oh, I did it again? I really did it again. I moved this stupid thing out of range again. But Metroid is basically like two bosses. Metroid is a lot. Original Metroid is mostly not getting lost or trying not to get lost for too long is like the #1 priority in that game. And beating the two bosses, Ridley and Kraid, before you can proceed, elsewhere. You too, Eric. It was good talking to you. You have a good night. So I feel like I want to go up there. Actually, wait. I don't need to go up there. I can jump down from there later. Damn it. You gotta jump on those guys. Whenever you see fireflies, you gotta tap on that A button. Try to catch some of them. Oh, that's cool. Another roller coaster. These are great. Oh, wait. Is this the roller coaster that I fell off before? It is. I gotta use the bathroom all of a sudden. Let me see if I can find the video clip of my first minutes playing this game here. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. It's okay if you tune out or leave, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play my first half hour of this game. It'll help to explain the beginning of the game. And if everyone's gone, I'm gonna go and watch some anime and go to bed after this stream. But if you're still here, I'll play a little bit more, but no obligation there. But this is going to be how the game started. And I hope I remember to unmute my audio when I come back. Screw it, I'm leaving the audio unmuted. Beginning playback now. happens here. I wish I could set up OBS to record the video stream separately. Like, I think there is a feature in Streamlabs OBS that actually does that. Basically, the idea is I could record. Alrighty, I'm here to document the first hour, my first hour of this game here. I actually started playing like on Sunday, but I sat down for like maybe 5-10 minutes, if that. But one thing I noticed was, you know, you start off with like a gazillion hearts and a ton of stamina. See? And, well, I was watching a live stream. Many people were streaming this game, and I noticed that a friend of mine had only 3 hearts. And thus it stands to be reasoned that at some point early in the game, something will happen where Link will lose the hearts and will lose the stamina. And so, you know, I don't want to forget this time where I have all of this power. And so I intend on documenting this early phase of the game. I shall turn off my camera now, and I will turn off my microphone. Nah, leave it on. But already, there is something highly suspicious going on here. I mean, like, there's red stuff coming out of the ground. Oh, it looks much better on my TV. So, yeah, let's see what happens here. I wish I could set up OBS to record the video stream separately. Like, I think there is a feature in Streamlabs OBS that actually does that. Basically, the idea is I can record separate items and then I can have them composited or separated. So this guy's all like, this lady's all like, oh, whatever we do, we can go and look at the paintings on the way out. But I'm thinking, no, we can't. I suspect that at some point after we, you know, walk through this very suspicious looking corridor, that something will prevent me from walking out that door. Just like Princess Zelda just prevented me from leaving. And thus, I will not find out what those paintings are about unless I go through an arduous journey. Is this really a good idea? This doesn't seem like a good idea, Princess Zelda. I'm just saying, I want to advise you that you should probably go upstairs and we should get a team of soldiers to come back down here. Alright, you're not going to listen, are you? Oh. That's all you gotta say, Link? Jeez, trying to save your life here, buddy. In fact, I am Link. I have a self-preservation instinct, and my self-preservation instinct says, don't walk up to the serpent-like vaporous energy thing. Yeah, no shit. No shit, we must be careful. You know what? I'm gonna say not yet, alright? What is there to do? Yeah. I was having a strange sensation when I saw all of the red stuff. So I don't know what that does. You can press the Y while you're talking. Okay, and I started walking down these steps. And yeah, there's really no other option but to continue. So we're gonna continue.
What is that?
What is that? it is a Sith Lord and a weird lightsaber. Clink, 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 clink. Oh, it's one of those earrings, like that guy from 90210. Seashell, seashell by the seashore. Oh man, that's a serious chest infection right there. Gonna need a doctor's note for that. What did I say? What? I told you this would be painful. I told you. See, look at. I'm so pissed off right now. You took my hearts. You took my hearts, and I now have an infected arm. See, what did I say about, like, turning around and, like, doing something a little differently than what we're doing right now?
Link! Was that the sword that seals the darkness? The blade that shatters so easily against my power cannot save you from me. Zelda. You who carries that fragile sword.
Fragile. It must be Italian.
Raru placed his faith in you. And that was all you could do.
How do you know our names?
I mean, the kingdom was basically already a wreck. So, I mean, you know, basically like New York, 1970. Oh boy. It's like a Quantum Leap episode. Oh boy. See what I say? Like, now he's jumping down a bottomless pit to catch his girlfriend with his infected hand. Like, she was already dead. She comes back to life, and then apparently she's dead again. Well, I mean, she's imbued with magic, so she's not dead. Okay. But still, this, like,
and I'm gonna join another live
against everything
show.
I said.
I'm going to,
I said don't go in that part. I guess I should. So, see, all this bullshit happened. It's all Princess Zelda's fault. It is all Princess Zelda's fault. This is her fault. That is the point I'm making by playing this video back. But anyway, I think I'm gonna go and conclude this stream. I just wanted to underscore how it was all Princess Zelda's fault, and I'll revisit this topic another time. Perhaps I'll wait till more people get to enjoy this game. So, yeah. With that being said,
All of the greatest vessels of the British Royal and Merchant Navies were gathered together for the largest fleet review in British history, all assembled as part of the Diamond Jubilee of Queen Victoria. Through the orderly and dignified pageantry, a small vessel weaved between the great ships, evading the patrol boats of the Royal Navy. Speeding through the flotilla of ships and escaping capture, the little boat named Turbinia had smashed all previous speed records, as it neared its maximum of 34 knots. With a 20-foot flame shooting out of its funnel, Turbinia had effectively caught the attention of the royals and dignitaries attending the event. igniting curiosity about its steam turbine engines and changing the course of engine technology forever. Charles Parsons had been looking to build a steam engine more efficient than the traditional triple expansion engine, but also one that was faster. In 1884, he invented the modern steam turbine. A traditional triple expansion engine uses high-pressure steam that powers a small cylinder that exhausts into an intermediate pressure cylinder, which then exhausts into one or two low-pressure cylinders, utilizing the natural three-phase expansion of steam in an effort to get the maximum power output. The steam turbine engine that Charles Parsons had created operated similar to a pinwheel. High-pressure steam was forced into the turbine, which rotated several blades directly attached to a propeller shaft. The sheer speed at which the blades rotated gave the engine an unmatched level of torque. British Admiralty was kept updated by Parsons' developments. If his new invention proved successful, then it would be considered for use in the Royal Navy. The Turbinia was constructed at Brown & Hood in Wallsend-on-Tyne, Northern England. Brown & Hood was not a shipbuilding company, but rather a sheet metal fabrication facility. Despite their lack of experience, Turbinia was well built and would make history as the world's first steam turbine-driven ship. It measured 32 meters long, which is about 105 feet, and 2.7 meters wide, or about 9 feet in width. They launched the vessel on the 2nd of August, 1894, but at that time, the boat only had one propeller, driven by a single turbine, and it performed poorly during its trials. British Admiralty was not impressed. They watched as the boat vibrated violently, and by the end of the trials, the propeller had become misshapen due to the issue of cavitation. Cavitation was a phenomenon that was only just being investigated. It hadn't been seen affecting too many vessels because standard steam cylinder engines didn't usually spin propellers fast enough to cause cavitation. So what is cavitation, you ask? Well, you see, propellers driven by a steam turbine turn with such speed that the blades of the propeller can actually create little vacuum bubbles on their surface. When these little vacuum bubbles collapse, the force of the surrounding water can hammer at the propeller's surface, causing pitting, which only worsens the issue of cavitation, eventually wearing away the propeller entirely. This necessitated the development of more hydrodynamic propellers, which can cause less cavitation to happen. During the years of redevelopment on Turbinia, Charles Parsons gave it 3 turbines, which each drove a propeller shaft fitted with 3 sets of custom-engineered propellers, for a total of 9 screws. The vessel was refloated for its new trials. This time, British Admiralty was not present. After the previous disaster, they were not convinced that steam turbines would ever exceed the usefulness of steam cylinder power. But Charles Parsons was determined to prove them wrong. They fired up Turbinia's 3-drum coal-fired water tube boiler to its maximum pressure of 200 pounds per square inch, and took the small steamboat out to open water. The little boat reached a top speed that surpassed Cunard's RMS Campania, which held the record for the fastest ship in the world, with a top speed of 23.5 knots. The Turbinia, however, could run circles around.
All right, we got to put a link out. And then I'm going to resume some gameplay here. So yeah, I want to give a shout out to my friend here. Whoops, I got to paste it like this. Terminator NES stream. There we go. So that is a live stream from a friend of the channel. And I would definitely implore people to check out my dear friend and his dear content. Okay, so earlier I used this railroad track, but it's too dangerous to use. I'm going to keep playing until the battery dies. I think that sounds like a good idea. So I can't use these mining carts to go down there unless I can fix it somehow. And I feel like there is a way to. Oh wait, there is a way to fix it because Link can do construction. And I bet you my best bet is to make a log. So we're gonna make a log. Okay, and the broken track is all the way over there. So I either need to. Can I get this log across without? Can I drop this log on the other side? Is that? Am I close enough? I can't really tell. I doubt I'm close enough, but I wish I was. All right, we're gonna bring it. Oh, good. Okay. Well, that's. Oh, okay. That was a waste of a log. Now they say you can jump in water. Ah, yes. Now I know what this platform is gonna do for me. Whoops. I lost track. Oh, there it is. Pun intended. I lost track of the tracks. No, my friend ended his Terminator stream. That's okay. But yeah, he got a couple of links in the chat anyway. Okay, good. So that's a start. So my plan is simple. I'm gonna take this across the road. Oh no. I freaking put the propeller on backwards. All right. I don't want that rolling away. I might need it later. Oh, that's cool. Those carts have like little metal things on them so they don't roll on land. So now we're gonna try to effect repairs because I tried going up this track before and it ended pretty disastrously. So what can I use to repair that track? Well, we might be able to use those metal hooks, but they are a little crooked. I should have used that box. Can I walk on that? Yeah, so you don't actually need to run the propeller for the entire run. And technically, I don't even have to like rotate the vehicle, but I'm gonna rotate it to make it easier. Right, good. So we're ready to make our return trip, but first we need to chop down some trees. Or actually, wait, all right, that does not look safe. That was close. Well, actually, that's kind of helpful. That was kind of helpful. All right, that wasn't super helpful. Right, I don't think it's gonna work. A better solution. You know what? I do have a better solution for this. So Link seems capable of climbing that track, yet he's not. 'Cause, I mean, I just had him climbing the railroad track like for like a split second there. It's a tremendous pain in the butt. Wait a second. I came up with another brilliant idea. I did not know you could do that. Dude, that is so freaking kind of cool. Kind of cool, but kind of scary. I I guess I can go in reverse by just flipping the propeller, right? Or I could even go in this direction. I could say, you know what, I want to go in this direction. I don't know if that was the best place to stop. I mean, this might be the best place. Oh, there's some water I can escape to right below me. So that's good because I might have to escape into some water. Because I lost my floating platform. That thing is in a bad spot. All right, that seems like a waste of my... Can I actually cross there? Can I make it? Can I make it across? Hey, what's up, Mike? It's good to see you. Yeah, just burning the midnight oil here as I consider my options. And I mean, I can load the last save state, right? So that's an option. But it's like, can I make it? Can I jump across this gap and get to that, building, whatever that is? Because, oh wait, there's some water over there. I can jump into that water. I'm going to try jumping into that water. I think there's water like right here. Like, I think I was just looking at it. I don't know why I'm leaning over as if I could see better by leaning towards the left. All right, we're going to try this, right? Ho-ho! All right. And I think I can go back where I was, right? Because I can always use the magical, whoops, I keep hitting the wrong button. This one here. Oh, you little cunt. You, okay, wait, okay. First, let me just get some health. I was gonna eat a frog. Oh yeah, so what I was trying to do is see if I can go right, if I really wanted to go back up here, could I? It looks like it's a little too high up to do that. But we're next to another vertical item. Oh, there he is. Link is dead. And I do want to say, had a good time earlier today on Pacific 414's open stream, member stream. He had one on Sunday and he had one on Monday. I couldn't attend on Sunday, but he said that there would be one on Wednesday, which is great because like Wednesday is a good day for me. All right, so I can't depose that villain, right? And where's my hover barge? Okay, good. Well, that looks like the hover barge is in a much more reasonable spot than it was before. So that's good. Yeah, I caught 2 frogs. Oh, you guys. You mother effers. You dirty little blue blob ass. Honestly, I wouldn't mind making peace with these guys. Oh, cool. A mining car. railroad thingy. It's just like one of those weird mining whatever they. Oh, whoa, whoa! I don't have any lights. Oh, it's one of those friendly, coily guys. This cave is especially dark. You need a light. Bright bloom seeds. Yeah, I got bright bloom seeds. I feel bad for shooting this guy, but I feel like I should probably be shooting it anyway. Maybe I should make friends with it instead. Or did I just... Oh, I went in the wrong direction. Okay. I think one way we can... Now, I think one method for, minimizing the amount of wear and tear that you encounter on your weapons and axes and tools in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is to pick up a rock, like the one I'm holding now, aim it at whatever it is you want to hit, and just rinse and repeat. See, in Breath of the Wild, my method was to use the magical bombs, the spherical and the cube-shaped bombs. Spherical bombs were good when you wanted to, aim at a downhill enemy, but square bombs were nice because you could place them next to whatever it is you want to blow up or attack without worrying about them moving. Now, as an alternative to what I'm doing right now, I believe one of these special abilities that Link has allows him to fuse a rock to a stick. And so that might be worth trying. Because that took a lot of time to, what I was just doing took a lot of hits. So since I already damaged one of my tools, I'm going to pick up a new one right here. Then we're going to attempt to use one of my magical abilities. And there we go. Now I have a rock fused to a wooden stick. It definitely makes a formidable weapon. Quite efficient, quite effective. That actually worked really well. I thought I saw another guy. Here we are. Hey! This minecart station activated. Transported. Well, that's an interesting little bug. Well, it's not really a bug, but apparently, you can't activate the Zonai propulsion units independently. So you're better off activating them together. So we're going to do one final experiment. We're going to do one final experiment. Now that we know that these two things can't be activated independently of each other, we're going to activate them together, facing the same. Whoops, almost forgot. But yeah, my original plan was to have like one facing in each direction so that I can go in reverse. Since I can't do that, we're going to just have them facing the same direction. I already saved my game because I feel like this is going to get dangerous. It seems that this mining cart has bad wheels that don't spin. It's more like a sled than a mining cart. Oh god, my controller. You know what? I'm calling it a night. Did I just hit the Godzilla button? Anyway, I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight for tuning in. As always, I humbly request that you like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, I also invite those. And if you rewind this stream, you'll see like a little bit of a hey, that's a glitch. You'll see early in the stream I kind of went over some scenarios for lag. Might most likely redo that, but I like having excuses drawing diagrams. So anyway, with that said, once again, thanks for watching, and we shall now end transmission.